Welcome along, racing world. Time for another The Morning Post, brought to you by The Racing Post and sponsored by William Hill. Dave Orton, steering the ship for the next hour or so. Your one-stop shop bulletin show on a Saturday morning. The weather is set fair now. We know what the going sticks are. The markets are all developed and we'll be giving you lots of enhancements as we go. Really good panel for you coming up. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment and share. If you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up. Get your comments in. We'll post them up through the show. You can ask our experts as these markets are maturing, what's on the drift and why, what's your naps, all that sort of stuff. Let's get them in below. Let's have some fun, shall we, and carry on the show. And I'm thrilled to say, joining me back is the bear himself. Graeme Rodway comes back.
Hi Dave, how you doing? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's the bear's breakfast on a Saturday?
Lovely morning, wasn't it? Very healthy breakfast morning. A bit of porridge, some honey, you know.
Literally Goldilocks stuff.
Yeah, lovely it was. Yeah, very early, of course, because it's a long way from Chelmsford into the studio. I've been telling our producer that all morning, complaining.
Well, listen, we're early birds, but that's what we want to be, don't we? Yeah, we
love it on Saturday mornings, don't we? Because it's the great racing, isn't it? The best racing of the whole lot. Wincanton, we've got Aintree over the Grand National fences. What an absolute treat we've got coming up.
This Poppy's going to do my head in during the show. I've had a metal one on Sky all week, but such was a rush with the only morning to come in. I'm extremely proud to wear this, as you are. Charlie Poste, it's good to see you back in this studio.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be back. I mean, I invested in a 2023 metal poppy badge because I genuinely am very proud to wear it.
I'll tell you what, let's not go there, but trying to actually find one in London this morning is a very, very difficult thing. Anyway, we're here. It's been a busy summer for you, hasn't it? Since we last saw you.
It always is. You know, I'm a man after your own heart. I'm always operating, different things going on. So, yeah, very busy, yeah.
You are the chairman now, of course. As you might have seen coming under Postie's name, we now refer to him as the chairman. Do you know why, G?
No.
Well, he's going to be insufferable even more than normal because you've agreed to do something.
Yeah, I mean, and again, different to you, obviously I take my lead from. This is an unpaid role before you jump in with anything else. So, yeah, the Point-to-Point Owners and Riders Association, I basically didn't say no quick enough. And I declared a slight interest about discussing it, and before you know it, I was announced because no one else wanted to do it. So
you're the new chairman of the Point-to-Point Authority going through.
No. Different. I'm the Point-to-Point Owners and Riders Authority. So it's a trade body.
Getting technical now, aren't we?
I really basically have no authority to make any decisions.
Yeah, all right.
I'm going to get a lot of grief.
I bet you're getting more money for the ones you sell, and of course you're one from one already. You've got a new stable jockey, Zach Baker, haven't you, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, really talented rider, George's brother. Yeah, and we had a winner last weekend at the first meeting, so it can only go downhill from here.
Named after me, of course, Disco Dave. All right, okay.
Yes.
Sort of. Unpaid role then. Unlike a new star we're about to announce on the screen, who was earning his corn for William Hill this morning. Let's go up to Yorkshire. He's in the offices, I believe. He's not a Yorkshireman, though. It's Jamie McBride.
Morning, Dave.
As you can probably tell, he's an insufferable Geordie. And we worked out yesterday on the phone, didn't we? You're not that side. You're the side that's doing rather well at the moment in the Premiership.
Yes, going well. Like I said to you yesterday, you can insult my wife, my horses, my child, as long as you don't call me a Mackem or a Yorkshireman.
Which I did both of yesterday on the phone. You get it out of the way, don't you? Jamie, it's great to have you on. We've had Johnny Simpson the last couple of weeks. We're literally going to be going to the trading floor. That's you, isn't it?
It is, yep. I'm steering the ship this morning and this afternoon, all the anti-post changes, etc.
Great stuff. And look, Johnny's done a sterling job, so no pressure, man. But we do a prize boost for you out there every week, viewers. You can get involved. This will be going live. I think it's live now, isn't it, of course? It was first week. I can't remember who the first week was, but I tell you why I can't, because last week you were literally knocked over about the even money about Brave Man's Game. Everyone else was 4 to 7 on. He stunk before the off, but you couldn't take enough, could you?
No, it was very, very popular, and we were thankful for that last flight blunder, which probably cost them the race. Maybe that and a combination of the soft ground and race fitness, but it would have been an expensive one.
You're teasing to our guest on the show this morning. We'll see what Gary Cobden made of it in around about 10 or 15 minutes' time. He's coming up, covers on the show. Come on then, it's your moment to shine. What's the big boost this weekend for everyone?
Another really popular horse from the Nichols Yard, it is Throwdown. We're going to be 6 to 1 from 4 to 1. And he's trying to repeat his Badger Bay win from last year off the same mark.
Oh, What price are we going then? Because he was around about 4s when we came in, Wheels.
Yep, 6-1 is the boost price.
I mean, if I told you on Thursday that you were going to get 6-1 about Frodon, forget the ground, forget everything else. This is Frodon day, isn't it?
Oh, it is, according to you. Come on, give us the spiel, Dave.
Well, he's won 3 times on this weekend, and every time he's raced in this weekend, he's won. So he's won this. What else has he won? We're going to preview this race live, by the way, but we'll just get this out of the way.
He won this.
Down Royal.
Down Royal. He won, of course, the big race at Down Royal, which has been run today. Jerry Colomb, he won the champion chase. Yeah.
And the novice chase on the card.
And he won the Rising Stars. He's 2 for 2 at Wincanton. Right, Frodon, it's out there. It's now live for William Hill customers. Get to the website, get to the app, get on the phones, whatever you've got to do. 6-1 is live. Knock them over. Let's have a go at this. We'll see what Harry Cobden makes of it and what is exactly coming up on the show for you this week. If you're new to it, we are going to give you this. It should come up in front of your very eyes now, where you can see the clock is now 10:07. We need to get on with it. We're going to do a newspaper roundup for you. We'll be advertising everything that's all in good about the Racing Post. This morning, on Saturday, get out there and get it. Digital edition. If you're not, Members Club offer is coming your way as well. If you're new to it, 50% off. That still goes. Harry Cobden joins us on the show. Leading jump jockey, massive book of runs, of course, over the weekend. We'll hear about Stay Away Faye et al. That he rode yesterday at Exeter. We'll be going live to the tracks. James Stevens is at Wincanton, up at Aintree for the Grand Sefton, where Andrew Dietz covers everything for us there today. David Jennings, brilliant stuff from DJ so far on the weeks, and he'll be giving us the Irish angle. That's going to be a meaty one, isn't it? Today with Down Royal finally getting it on. Sunday Sizzlers, we'll be looking at the Veterans Chase at Aintree tomorrow, getting the panel's thoughts. Greatwood Hurdle is our anti-post pick. Now, if you go to William Hill website or the app, future races, you can find the market there. It's wide open. We'll be giving you what we think will win before those all-important weekend winners. Right, time to draw a breath, chaps. How's that pace? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, keep it up, Dave. Come on.
Because you're trying to get me to the calf, aren't you, basically?
Yeah, we've got to get out for breakfast, don't we?
For a certain time, yeah, because if you go after midday, it's liver and bacon, isn't it? And not everyone's a fan of that, I don't know. All right, OK, paper roundup time for you there. Here's what you can get in the Racing Post this morning. Another great edition from the team. Let's get the front page up for you, shall we? There we are. This is why we love the jumps. They're all there. Of course, it had to be, didn't it? Brian Eat Frodon. Look at Nichols there, loving life. This is his weekend, his home track. And, of course, Jerry Colomb, Frodon and Brian then spearhead a magical day. On page 2, the front runner himself, Chris Cook, Frodon and Frost, bidding to raise the Wincanton roof again. You can see down there, all important, guys, page 2. Look at that. You can scan to get to that all-important petition about the affordability checks. If you've not done it, why on earth not? Share it among everyone. We need to get the numbers up. Let's have a look at what else we've got. There he is. Had to make an appearance, didn't he? Robbie Wilders, the anti-postman. Great preview in the 62nd Badger Beer handicap chase. It's a big ask for Frodon, with Blackjack capable of working his magic. Get involved if you want to get ahead. You can see what Robbie's there, the wordsmith. Johnny Deneen, Saturday column. There's Johnny's nap of the day, you can see. They're up at Kelso. However, Johnny says, Jerry is my idea of the 2024 Gold Cup winner. I'll be amazed if he doesn't win today. Of course, he references Jerry Colomb, who finally struts his stuff, the Gold Cup hopeful, at Down Royal later on. Coming up next, price-wise, he was on the show last week, Tom Siegel. He is coning in on, of course, the rearranged, rescheduled Newcastle card. Supposed to be at Donny, wasn't it? But November handicap, of course, comes up at 3:45. He's going for Laffy there. William Haggis' horse. DJ likes that as well. Percussion, they're all the tips. Look, we're giving you premium content here. If you want to read Tom more, get involved. Sound Angela won't let us down at Newcastle. The excellent Kevin Morley and the Trends column. A little bit further into the paper, Cooper's Cross can rise to the occasion over the national fences. These races, the Badger Biz is the 62nd running. The trends are all set. You can see who Kevin fancies there, another Blackjack fan. DJ, really good comment in his Saturday column. This is interesting, isn't it? McManus has started doing things differently, and it could be a big season for him. Basically referencing the fact he's going to have some real championship runners going forward. Excellent piece by DJ. That really enjoyed it overnight on the website. Now this is a good one. Peter Scargill on Newmarket Hero says, Dittori, 92 to be king of the jungle and I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Of course, Frankie was banned, wasn't he, from riding in the Melbourne Cup. He still went over there to do all the after-dinner speaking on this farewell tour. And now we know why. He goes into the jungle. Great piece there. General 9-2 shot. you would come alive if you did that, Posty, wouldn't you?
The jungle.
The jungle. You'd come alive.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of stuff I'd be up for. I think. Yeah.
I could see Jamie McBride doing quite well as well. He'd be steely, I imagine, McBride. You know what I mean? The Geordie in him would survive. Look, he'd be fine. I think I'd be all right.
In with the rats and all that.
I'd be popular. I'd be popular. I wouldn't get voted, I don't think. Unlike you, G-Rod.
I don't think I would survive the jungle.
I think... Who would vote for Graeme Rodway in the trials? Of course, the Bush Tucker trials. Oh, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, gee, in with the snakes and whatever else.
The whole of racing Twitter would be campaigning for that. Would break the internet, wouldn't it?
a few of his finest quips would come back up, wouldn't they?
Have you ever gone camping or anything like that?
No, I never do. I can't do camping. No, I have to do hotels. I couldn't do the jungle. Can you imagine how many trials I would have to do as well? If the racing public voted me up every week, it would be a disaster.
I reckon Harry Cobden would be pretty good in it, wouldn't it? I would imagine. Jockeys would be fine, wouldn't they, I think, Posty?
Yeah, Cobden, he'd be pretty steely, I'd say. Yeah.
All right, well, we're looking forward to Frankie doing that. Of course, he was on Big Brother. I think this is made for Frankie. Look, down the bottom you can see there's a special look down there. Twice the price. This is interesting, isn't it? Jerry Colomb to win by over 5 lengths. Very interesting indeed. But now we must hit the road, and our guest approaches. It is leading jumps jockey Harry Cobden on the line. Cobby, are you out there? Look at the game face on him. He absolutely is joining us. Harry, can you hear me?
No, he can't hear you.
We'll let the producers do their thing while we try and get him on the line.
I'd have thought you were so loud that anyone could hear you from here, Dave, but obviously not.
He'd have jumped backwards if he was hearing.
It's going to be that sort of show, is it? We're going to and fro, are we?
I think so.
You know Harry, don't you? Of course, he was riding back in May. Of course, the smallest day. He was having a go at the training shop. I think he's something like 40 behind at the moment. It's going to be a tall order, but it continues to rise and rise and rise to the man, doesn't it?
Very much so. I mean, he's sort of the go-to person in British jump racing, isn't he now? I mean, I think I suppose deep down he'd love to be champion jockey, but I think probably the truth of it is he's always with his job going to be pursuing Grade 1 winners and big race success over a championship. And I suppose unless there's a big change of strategy, it's always going to be tough for him to rack up the numbers you need early in the season.
All right, let's see if we can get him back on the line now, shall we? Harry, are you out there? Okay, well,
teasing.
My producer
teasing,
sounds
yeah,
very much like Harry Cobden in my ear as well. Of course, Stay Away Faye yesterday. We might as well have a quick mention of that while we wait for Harry to get his mic on. Stay Away Faye yesterday.
I thought it was pretty good. Stay Away Faye, jumped well.
Didn't want to go for the National Hunt Chase, did he? He wasn't having that, Nichols.
Well, too good for that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Although the National Hunt Chase has become a better race, hasn't it, over the last few years? Because basically everyone's trying to avoid each other, so the National Hunt Chase as a result has got better and better. But I don't see him as a 4-mile chase. I think they're going to be thinking Gold Cup surely, aren't they?
What did you make of Iroko in the week?
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Was that a wow?
Oh, it was, I mean, I think if you asked Oliver Greenland, Josh Guerrero how they'd like to start things off, they couldn't have asked for much more, could they?
Well, there was talk about Brown Advisory, so that's now heating up, isn't it? That's what we want. We're going to see more performances in Ireland over the weekend. It could be a really hot division, could it?
Oh, it could be. Iroko was wow, but the question is, which race, of course? Now, this is one of these things we play all year, isn't it? Will he go for this race at Cheltenham? Will he run in that one? Before the race, Greenall and
What are you flagging up as options then, G?
Well, before the race, they were saying definitely wants 3 miles.
It's not an Arkle horse,
definitely
so he's
wants
not
3
one of them.
miles. Now, after the race, they were saying, oh no, he's got loads of speed, he could run over 2.5. So I think we're looking at 2.5 or 3 with Iroko, but he's very exciting, isn't he?
All right, well, let's see what... Harry, are you actually out there?
I'm here, lads.
Oh, look at him. I'll tell you what, the quiff's a bit flustered from that, isn't it? Getting it off. Cobby, look at you, dressed for success as ever. Off to Wincanton for another massive day. Thanks for joining the Morning Post.
Thanks for having me on.
Great stuff. Let's just talk about the week that's been. Can we talk about Brave Man's Game? Of course, it was this time last week. He was the big prize boost for us. We pushed him out. He actually drifted in the betting, Harry. You won't know too much about that. Didn't quite get the job done.
No, but for 95% of the race, travelled well, jumped great. Obviously, came down to the last. Probably the other horse. All in all, I was happy enough to run. Got me
We'll have to be an interpreter there. How he's sort of there, isn't he? I think we sort of got that, didn't we? The powers of live TV and Skype out there. I think he was happy, he said, for 95%
I think 95% the race, and I think we could all see that watching, couldn't we? I think probably if the back of 3 out, he thought he was going to win cosily without needing to give the Brave Man's Game a tough first race back. But Gentleman's Game wouldn't go away. And did he lose anything in defeat? Not really, but it must have been frustrating.
Tough one for the commentator, that, wasn't it? Gentleman's Game, Brave Man's Game, going over the last. What can he do this year, Gentleman's Game?
Probably not a lot, I wouldn't have thought, after that. I think that was probably his milk bottle, wasn't it? That was his race. I don't think he'll go on to...
Everything I hear is that he's an outstanding, like, his work and that shows that he, in schooling races and that he is high calibre. And I don't think it's been straightforward, yeah.
You're not sort of like...
I'll be surprised if he wins another race.
Good to see Mouse Morris having a very good horse, though, of course.
Yeah.
All right, let's try Harry again. Stay away Faye yesterday, Harry?
Yeah, delighted with him. I thought he jumped brilliantly throughout. Just got a little bit idle, great, and then he got a bit of company after we jumped fourth last. Dealt in the Powell decided to correct. Back third last, absolutely winged the last, came outside the wing. I didn't expect him to come off that strike, so yeah, delighted.
Still getting some break up there.
I mean, you're nodding like you're interpreting what was going on there. As in...
I am good at interpreting. I can tell that he obviously loves this.
Come on, what did he say?
I think he said along the lines of, we had a little blow, we came to the last, we're definitely going to win the Brown Advisory, get on, lads.
I mean, what I think was different to him and the Brave Man's Game performance was the jump at the last was completely, you know, I mean, Stay Away Faye came up out of his hands and gave the last fence daylight and landed running, didn't he? And hit the line strong as well. And it was a decent race. Like Grey Dawning and I can't forget the horse that was second. Like they're no mugs, you know. It wasn't a bad novice chase, was it?
I always think you got a chance when your horse is doing his best work at the line.
Yes.
And Stay Away Faye also always does his best work late, and I like that.
Jamie McBride, you're listening in the background. That's why we try and sort Harry's audio out. What prices are we looking at for Stay Away Faye for the Brown Advisory, Etel? Oh, OK. Sorry, Jamie's not with us at the minute.
He's busy trading.
We're putting everything into getting Harry Cobden onto the line.
Busy trading.
He probably is busy trading.
He's probably worried about my nap.
You've put up a big one later on.
Yeah, I can see him running scared already.
All right, let's try and keep Harry while we can for the minute. We appreciate that Harry's on, his time is short, but obviously out there, I can only do so much interpretation for you. All right, I'm hearing that we've still got Gremlins.
It was interesting the way Nichols immediately mapped out the campaign for Stay Away Faye, though, wasn't it? You know, Sandown, Kempton for the Grade 1, the Corto Star, wasn't it? And then on to Cheltenham for the Turners straight after that. So, I mean, he seems to know exactly where he's going, and that National Hunt Chase was firmly ruled out, wasn't it?
Have we seen a superstar novice yet, Ron? Did we see? What did we make of Willmount at Newbury at the week? We might as well do a little round up.
He looked really good. He looked really good, didn't he? He jumped beautifully. Some of the leaps that he put in, if you'd swapped him with Constitution Hill, you wouldn't have been surprised. He absolutely flew 3 or 4 of those, and some of those jumps took him to the front. He was going so well that Nico just couldn't hold on to him, and he just went further and further clear. I don't think he was as blow you away in the same way that Constitution Hill did first time out Sandown, but he was very, very good. And Henderson, straight afterwards, was saying, it's a shame that Tolworth hurdle isn't at Sandown.
Of course, it's moved to Aintree, of course. He apparently doesn't fancy going up there on Boxing Day, is the word I got.
Well, he doesn't, I don't think. But the fact that he's talking about going for a Grade 1 straight out of a novice tells you how good he must think this
is. Is that from a jockey's point of view that he doesn't fancy going up there for a Grade 1?
I'm trying to think what they won that race with. They won it with some very good horses, I think, haven't they? It's typical Hendo, isn't it, to take his best to Newbury in November, December, isn't it?
I mean, I was at Warwick during the week, and I bumped into Jerry McGrath, obviously used to ride for the stable, big Bloodstock agent now, and he just smiled and said, we're unleashing some proper jets tomorrow. Obviously, Willmount went in, the horse in the bumper, Gentleman's Relish. So, I mean, like you say, Newbury is a big day for big meeting for Henderson. And again, because we've been blessed with so much rain early in the year, we are seeing better horses out and about early on in the season.
You both saw a Rocco then in the week?
I was there on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
I was there on Wednesday.
Ships in the night.
Yeah.
Okay, that was well planned, Charlie, I'll tell you that much. I'm not sure where we are with Harry, guys. I'm not sure. I know he's desperately waiting to get on. He's got an extremely strong book today, we should say. He's starting off with what he probably would tell us Meatloaf is going to win the first. Nichols has won 7 of the last 10 of that opening race. Alan King likes his dancing in Brazil, but I don't
Time Hill's brother, half brother.
That's it.
Yeah.
He looked like a good horse. Looked like a stayer. Won first time out last year, then defied a penalty when we last saw him at the track, and the second has gone hosed up since. What about some of the rest of Harry's rides? So obviously you've done your homework.
Yeah, well, he's on Roubaud, isn't he? In the elite and in the novice chase, he's got the odds-on favourite in there, isn't he?
Nappers,
yeah. Okay, all right. We're going to try and get him back later in the show. He's going to try and find some headphones or something like that.
I'd say
There's not a lot of Wi-Fi.
The data in the West Country. It's not the 4G coverage and 5G doesn't exist down there just yet.
All right. Well, look, we're going to try and now go live to the track, so stick with us. And of course, we'll be going to Wincanton and James Stephens after this. Well, for the first time this morning on the Morning Post, we go to Wincanton and live to the tracks, and he's becoming a regular. Thank goodness. James Stephens, West Country correspondent, is trackside for us. Set the scene, Steve-O.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Good morning, guys. Yep, it's West Country weekend, so the big one for me down here in the southwest, and we're here at Wincanton. It's Badger Beers Day. It's one of the great days here, probably the great day. The big handicap. Probably best place to start was yesterday. I mean, a phenomenal day's racing at Exeter, wasn't it? A Haldon Gold Cup day, won by the Tizzards, 3 generations celebrating it, and of course Stairway Fair. I mean, we'll have to talk about that, I'm sure. I mean, really impressive debut over fences, and Paul Nicholls was really riled up about it after the race. So fantastic day. Today it's all about Frodon. Another one for Paul Nicholls. We've seen him for so many years, a Cheltenham hero, a King George hero. But last year he just absolutely raised the roof. Sort of the best atmospheres I can remember on the race was when he won the Badger Beers last year. He's going to try and do it with top weight once again. Completely different ground, so it's a huge question mark. But there's going to be a big crowd at Wincanton, and I suspect quite a lot of them are hoping Frodon wins.
This is Frodon Day, isn't it? We're going to preview that on the show coming up in a minute, guys, for you out there. But Steve, what's the going stick saying? What's the wind like down there as half the West Country bowls into Wincanton?
Wind-wise, it's not too bad. We're calling it good to soft in play. It was pretty wet in the week in the build-up, but it's been pretty dry since yesterday morning. And yeah, it's what they call true jumping ground. It's similar to what we had at Exeter. So yeah, don't think there'll be any complaints. But yeah, compared to last year, it'll obviously be a lot more of a test.
Right then, no pressure, James, but last time you were on, you gave us a double on the show. What's the West Country nap? People can get that on the app.
Yep, we're going with I Love the Nightlife for Joe Tizzard in the Richard Barber Memorial at 3:35. Really smart horse last season, progressed very well, won the Mayor's Final at Newbury, which is usually a really strong piece of form. Disappointed last time, but you can draw a line through that. She'll love conditions today. Connections have been aiming her at this race as per their stable tour, which is out in the Racing Post on Friday and which is online now. She's a nice horse. They think highly of her, and the yard are bang in form.
Topical named winner that could be, because if Joe Tizzard has a big winner and James Stephens is nearby, watch out the pubs in the West Country. Steve-O, absolutely sterling stuff as ever. That keyboard's going to be hot this afternoon.
Thanks, Dave. Best luck with all your fancies.
There we go then, all right. James Stephens, and that was all right signal-wise, wasn't it? OK, Wincanton is going to be rammed today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be really busy, but it's a great day, isn't it, Posty?
Brilliant day, and the sort of country set will be out in force, and it's the sort of day that a man like you would turn up in your shiny
Just
Hunter
say
wellies,
what you want to say.
and you'd have that sort of slightly off tweed jacket on. You know, you'd be trying to fit in.
Mustard trousers, Charlie Mann style and all that, toe-to-toe and all. I love it. And now you're the chairman of the Point to Point Owners Authority. I'm coming for you, man, absolutely. Would you get involved, go indigenous, all that sort of thing?
No, I tend to just go with my big black bear-like jumper, and I do stand out a little bit though in those places. But I don't get down to the West Country very often. It's a long old way, you know, from Chelmsford to the West Country.
Is anywhere close to Chelmsford? Because you seem to throw this in a lot.
Not really.
Oh, all right, his nap's on in there later on as well. OK, James Stevens set the scene. He's going to be testing there, guys. Wind's all right at the moment, though. We're expecting Frodon one way or another to bring the house down. Jamie McBride, let's bring you in. We're going to look at the Rising Stars novice chase first. Didn't quite get Harry. We're hoping to get Harry later on in the show, guys. He's going to move around, try and sort his connection out and all that sort of stuff. But Nappers Hill must be a warm order.
He is, yes. I think he's around the 4 to... I'll just bring it up now, but I think he's around a 4 to 7 chance. And he does look as though he'd be hard to beat. I know Paul Nicholls was bemoaning the rain for a lot of his runners on Thursday, and he was hoping it would dry out, and it would certainly suit Nappers Hill. But I think he probably doesn't need to be any better than his perfectly satisfactory chase debut at Chepstow. I'm not sure there's anything of unexpected parties quality in this, unless something unexposed like Doyen Star takes a big jump forward. I think the favourite will be hard to beat.
OK, all right, favourite hard to beat then. Let's whiz through these guys. I mean, look, this has been won by some very good horses over the years. He didn't quite cut the mustard, did he, at Chepstow, as Jamie alluded to there, but that was Onyx Party's... It was his day, wasn't it, Posty? You know the Skeltons well. They obviously trained him for that. You're laughing because I'm going to keep going to you about these Skelton things. But you are pals with Dan.
No, I'm laughing because they are... When they make a plan, they very rarely miss, and they obviously targeted that race. He was 100% fit. He got the aggressive ride he needed to beat Nappers Hill. Nappers Hill, to me, jumped soundly. I thought it was a nice introduction. Yeah. I don't think he needs to be any better than that to win this today.
Trip would be interesting for him, G, wouldn't it? We know him a bit more of a... I know he has won the EBF final over 2.5, but he was quick horse last year.
Yeah, he showed a bit of speed last year. I think he'll be fine over it. He's won over this far, but I don't think he'll win. Ooh. I like Lady Adair.
Harry Fry's horse?
Yeah, Harry Fry's horse. Now, it's a mare, isn't it? So it's getting the £7 allowance. It's got a lot to find, obviously, on form, but it's totally unexposed over fences. Harry Fry was quite bullish in the Racing Post today about his quotes. He said he's quite hopeful that she can make the step up in class. So I think that she's a good little better to, 12, 14 to 1, Lady Adair?
OK, all right.
11 to 1 now. See, look, they've cut it already. Jamie heard me speaking. He was like, right, that G-Rod's on one here.
I've got a feeling we might have got Harry Cobden back. He could probably give us the word on Nappers Hill, I think. Doyen Star's interesting there as well. Captain Combi obviously comes over from Ireland. He's a good horse. And Gavega will be on a lot of your lips out there because we didn't quite cut the mustard. Right, fingers crossed. Cobbers, are you there?
I hope you can hear me this time.
That's better.
They don't want to hear from us, Charlie. Harry, let me tell you. Charlie was going to ask you a question about Brave Man's Game just before we move on.
Yeah, Harry, I'm just always fascinated with riders and their thoughts on things. Obviously, the race panned out exactly as you wanted, and he came up out of your hands going to the last. I just wondered, on reflection, if there's anything you'd change if you were able to ride the race again, or it just played out and it's just one of those things.
Looking back, to be honest, I wouldn't have changed a thing that I did on the way around. I mean, he travelled and he jumped. And we quickened up the straight, and I just wanted to hold on to him for as long as possible, just because I felt that there wasn't loads left in the tank. I just felt that sort of 50 yards before the last, he probably blew up a little bit, and that was why he made that mistake at that sort of crucial time in the race. Would I have kicked on? Some people think maybe I should have done, but in my opinion, he would have only stopped quicker, So, it's 6 1 1/2 dozen in the other.
Well, you've answered that one for us. One horse that should come on from the run, like Brave Man's Game, we expect to, wherever he goes next, is Nappers Hill then in the Rising Stars. What are you expecting today? Graeme Rodway thinks he's going to get beaten. You're not worried about that, are you?
Certainly not. He's in good form at home. He scored very well. He had a lovely run at Chepstow first time out. Obviously, he's had plenty of time since then to... go into this race nice and fresh. So yeah, I'm looking forward to him. I mean, obviously the fences around Wincanton are a bit bigger than Chepstow, but I thought he jumped really well at Chepstow on his seasonal appearance. I wasn't overly hard on him, so yeah, I'm expecting big things from him today.
It's one-way traffic in the market. You could well be riding the first three favourites because, of course, in the big one then, it's Frodon Day. Of course, that's Bryony's ride. You're on 3 under through 5. Who to everyone who's been watching racing, over the jumps over the last couple of years has been expecting this guy to kick on from his novice season. It didn't quite happen after in the Cold Gold Cup last year. Terrible start. It all went wrong. He's had his wind up, of course. What do you expect today? Loads of money for him in the markets, Harry.
He seems in very good form at home. I've sat on him a good few times, and he's schooling and working really well. He's normally good fresh, so that's a positive. He's in good form. I wouldn't swap him for any of the others. Frodon's 11 or 12 years old, isn't he? He's probably got it all to do, carrying 12 stone. Our lads, hopefully he's improving. The wind up should have done him a bit of good, and he's. I think he's a worthy second favourite or whatever it is. Might even be favourite now.
I love it there. All the love for Frodon, but yet the serious Harry Cobden just said he's 12. I'm having a go.
I just wondered if Harry hopes that there's pace pressure on Frodon.
Let's take that to you, Harry.
Nobody else does it. It'll be me.
All right, that's what we like.
Yeah.
All right, game face on. All right, we're going to do the badge of beer shortly for you and give you the prize for Jamie McBride. Of course, you've got Ribbo, of course, who is manifesting into a horse that Constitution Hill's going to be seeing. He takes in the elite.
Yeah, I was very impressed with him at Kempton last time out. I thought he travelled well, jumped great, and he actually stays quite well. So he'll get further than he in my opinion, he'll get 2.5 all day long. So I do like Gary Moore's horse. It's not a complete penalty kick. I think obviously we're giving him a few pounds, but with weight for rating, we're obviously better off. But Gary's horse is certainly no mug, but no, I like this horse. He's come out of Kempton really well. I scored him in the week. He's in good form, and flattish right-handed track will suit him.
All right, great stuff. You're another shorty there. A lot of people will be putting you in the Accas today, Harry. What do we make of Lime Avenue, the returning Lime Avenue, around about 3-1 in the Mayor's handicap?
If you asked me 6 months ago, I'd have said she's probably one of the best handicapped horses in the yard. But she's got loads of ability. She seems in good form at home. She's schooling well. She's doing everything right, and I think it'll take a good one to get past her today.
Ooh, that's interesting. All right, we'll be giving you a preview and prices that with Hills coming up shortly as well. I get the feeling that Harry really likes that. You sign off today with Roman Roy, an interesting bump horse. And again, Paul's got a great record in this race. In the stable tour that we did recently, you would have seen Paul viewers seeing this guy, big, scopy sort. He will be fancied in the market, Harry.
Yeah, big, beautiful horse. Sat on him a couple of times. Goes nice. He does everything right. He wouldn't strike you physically as a bumper horse. He's a big, rangy 4-year-old that would probably be better off jumping hurdles next season. So he's by no means a certainty, but he'll certainly go and run his race. And we like him a lot. That's
interesting, isn't it? Okay, jockey's title. Then got to ask you about that before we let you go. You're around about 40 off at the moment. Sean Bowen continues to churn in the winners. We know that Brian Hughes has got a bit between his teeth. The challenge is on. How are you going on that?
The last 2 weeks have been a little bit slow, I must admit. But we're still in there. We're still fighting. I clawed a couple back yesterday. I think I'm 38 behind. It's not an impossible task. I'm still trying anyway.
Posty was doing you down. He said you were 40 behind, by the way, so he's had you there.
It's Racing Post data, I think, that I'm looking at.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you, man. Listen, Harry, great to have you on. Thanks for coming back on. We know there were gremlins in the system. You've got a couple of rides tomorrow at Sandown. It's always a good card, isn't it? You've got the likes of Henry II, Impact of Bonheur, who's coming back. Jetronic would be an interesting horse as well.
Yeah, I think Jetronic's probably my best ride of the day tomorrow. I was happy with him at Cheltenham first time out. He's obviously a 4-year-old, so he's getting a bit of weight off the others. And I've got quite a nice horse in the bumper tomorrow. He goes nicely, so I'd say they're my two strongest chances.
Yeah, Graham Brooks will be happy with you because they're both owned by him, these bumper horses, aren't they? The audio broke up a little bit earlier on Stay Away Faye, Harry, and while we've got you, my producers are mad keen to get what you actually said about that. Obviously very happy with the way you went through the race, and more to the point, the line.
Yeah, loved it. He was just hiding a little bit turning in, and sometimes Post, you'll know when you've gone a nice even gallop, and I just sort of sat up on him to fill him up and get a blow into him turning in. He sort of pricked his ears and thought it was sort of job done, and it's a long way to sort of commit from turning into the line at Exeter. So I was just sort of half flapping around on him, waiting for one to come and join me, because I knew as soon as I had a bit of company, he'd pick up, and it sort of turned into a little bit of a dash over the last 4. But he's not short of. He's certainly not short of speed, this horse. He picked up really well. And, what certainly sealed the deal was the jump at the last. He came outside the wings. I didn't expect him to do that. So, delighted with his performance, and couldn't be happier.
You should be delighted with your performance on this show as well, Harry. You've been absolutely superb. I think the viewers have got what they want now. Listen, go well today. You've got a really, really strong book of rides, and tomorrow as well. Cheltenham coming up, of course, next week. Really good stuff. I wish you well in your pursuit of the jockey's title. Hopefully we'll be speaking to you again on this show as the season goes on. Harry Cobden, all the best.
Thank you.
Marvellous. We got there in the end, guys. I think you wanted to see that. We're going through then our preview of the Wincanton races. I wonder if anything Harry said there has swayed the gentleman next to me, or indeed Jamie McBride. Let's come to you now, Jamie, if you don't mind. We'll get the prices up for the 60-second Badger Beer. Harry fancied his chances, and what price is throwed on? Don't forget, that is your big boost out there. It was 6-1 when we went live.
Yep, 300 through 5 looks as though he's going to shade favouritism and go off maybe just favourite over Frodon. We're currently 7-2, 300 through 5, and 4-1 Frodon, boosted to 6-1, up to £50.
It's all happening this morning. Cheers, Jamie. All right, OK, let's go to the Badger Beer then. Look, to be honest, loads of... Anthony Honeyball's got a real assault on the race, hasn't he? He's got 4 runners in there. I don't think there's any nons at this time. What price is Blackjack Magic at the moment? You've seen when we did our paper roundup, everyone's pretty much going for him. Which way are you looking?
Yeah, me too.
You're on the Blackjack?
Yeah. I was earlier in the week, he was a good bit bigger than he is now. So, yeah, Blackjack Magic for me.
All right, come on.
Yeah, the Honey Monster obviously wants to win this, doesn't he? I obviously can't get the cereal out of my head. I've got the breakfast on the mind, Dave. No, I think Harry Cobden will win it on 300 through 5. Paul Nicholls was absolutely gutted that this horse didn't win last season, but as a result, he's come down in the weights, hasn't he? Down to 147. I think he was racing off 152 last season when he unseated in the Coral Gold Cup. He's really well handicapped. Harry doesn't seem to be bothered about Frodon, and that's good enough for me. So 300 through 5 is the one that I like, Dave.
All right, OK. There's a couple. Certainly Red's interesting on his course form, isn't he? Maybe I might have liked him.
Yeah, he's got a chance.
I'd like him to have a run, though.
That might be the thing on Socrates. But if you'd told me when he was winning those races around there that this would be his target, and I'd be able to back him around about what is he now? So, he's been backed at Hills. He was around about 9-1 this morning. Certainly Red for the Goldsteins. He loves it there. He's a definite player. It's
a nice race, this though, isn't it? Like it's a competitive race. There's plenty of the big breakaway and horses like that as well. Sam Brown would have won at Punchestown.
You wouldn't want to be laying Frodon at 6-1, would you?
You'd be brave to do it.
He's a horse that defies logic.
Jamie wants to do it.
Jamie is doing it. All right, Hills are doing it. That's the boost. Let's move on, shall we, Jamie? We heard what Harry said about Rabot. Not a penalty kick, he said, in the 3 o'clock, which is the elite. How are you pricing it?
Yep, he's 8-15 favourite, 15-8 Hansard. He's another horse that I think Paul Nicholls said he wouldn't have wanted the rain to come earlier in the week and he wanted the ground to dry out. But again, he's another one that just looks hard to beat. Hansard did go off favourite to beat him in the Dovecote, but Rubo beat him comfortably and he looked as though he's improved since on his reappearance. So if he handles the ground, he should be hard to beat.
Yeah, Harry wasn't too bothered about that. Thinks he's going to stay further. This is a horse that I hope he comes through this race with a win. It's not a race I'll be getting involved in punting-wise. This would be my one to be at the bar. I hope he does, because Paul will at least give opposition to Constitution Hill.
Yeah, I think that that the ground might have gone against Rhubarb here.
I knew you were going to tip Hansard.
And I like Hansard.
I got up this morning.
I'm with you, G.
Yeah, really like Hansard.
Yeah.
Stop the tape at the second last in the Aintree Grade 1. He looks like he's going to win. He's absolutely cantering. Just doesn't quite get home. There's talk about Rhubarb when he beat him at Kempton, but I mean, I think Hansard was like 20 or 30 pound below his best off.
Yeah.
He was miles off.
And he gets 6 now as well.
All
He's
right.
getting weight.
Okay, so Hansard it is, yeah?
And Sacre-Cœur might put pace pressure on Rhubarb as
He's
well.
going to go flying, isn't he, Sacre-Cœur, who's been playing his trade
Good placement. Good money
from
for
the
third.
Scouters to try and get some black type as well. All right, we have a mares handicap hurdle, a really competitive one to end our preview at Wincanton, which we're whizzing through. I Love the Nightlife was a nap for the West Country, and James Stevo, who you heard of at the track, Lime Avenue, who Harry said, asked me 6 months ago, best handicapped horse in our yard. What does the market make of her?
11-4 favourite, Lime Avenue, but she is fairly weak. There just looks as though there's a bit of opposition, and it's a decent little race. It's usually a bigger field than this, but it does look a decent little contest. Paul Nicholls reiterated what Harry was saying about her being well handicapped and he's stable to her. But I think Joe Tizzo's stable to her was just yesterday with the race post. I think he put I Love the Nightlife up as his dark horse. And Harry Fry's been really positive about Great Snow. He makes his debut for the yard in his stable too as well. So there's definite opposition to the favourite.
We like the Great Snow. Interesting horse. I'm taking on Lime Avenue here, but probably at my barrel. I thought probably, I don't know, she might drift, I think, actually. I Love the Nightlife. I can see coming in for support for a resurgent Tizard Yard when they had a Gold Cup yesterday, didn't they? Great Snow is an interesting horse, though, Posty.
Very interesting. Previously with Neil Mulholland, change hands for 100 grand, which for a 114 rated horse is plenty of money. Granted, the half sister's doing well in France. I think it's really interesting. I think as Jamie said, very interesting race though for the future. There's plenty of well handicapped horses in here. Harry Cobden made me slightly nervous with how bullish he was about Lime Avenue.
Yeah, Harry was very confident about Lime Avenue, which is a bit of a concern because I don't fancy. I'm on Space Voyage.
Tell us the case for this one.
Ollie Murphy.
12s.
Ollie Murphy's in good form at the moment. His horses are absolutely bombing. And this one was on a hat-trick, put together a hat-trick last season, starting off at Lingfield. And then went and ran over fences last time out and everything went wrong. But there was an excuse. He must have made a noise or something because they're giving him wind surgery, stuck the tongue trap on. Just think that if you ignore the run last time, which was clearly an abomination, wasn't it? And she was coming here on the back of that hat-trick. I think it should be half the price she is now.
Space Voice to take off then in our last preview.
Sure.
All right. We've got Andrew Dietz on the line coming up shortly at Aintree, I'm delighted to say, which we'll whiz through. We've got one coming up there. It's the Grand Sefton we're going to preview. Best chance at Wincanton for you all without giving a nap away?
3 under through 5.
3 under through 5.
Blackjack Magic.
Great Snow for me as well. Yeah, head to head. All right, fair enough. It's going to be brilliant stuff at Wincanton. The prices are all out there for you. You've heard what we've got to say. You've heard what the champion jockey elect, if it's not this season, it's going to be that for Harry Cobden. Great to have Harry on, wasn't it? But right now, we've got to head up to Liverpool because Aintree beckons. Thrilled to go up to Aintree then, and what a pleasure it is to have Andrew Dietz, one of our top Northern reporters, on the line, who is trackside. And we're over the national fences. That's the big news, Andrew.
Yeah, it's brilliant news. Pleasantly surprised, to tell the truth. Obviously, we had the inspection yesterday at 9 o'clock. We've had so much rain in the northwest. It's been quite incredible some days. So there were genuine fears that, there was going to be a problem. So to get the green light is brilliant. And also we've got some great racing away from the Grand Sefton as well.
It's going to be boggy, isn't it? Let's face it. I mean, you'll do well to find good ground anywhere at the minute. Even in Santa Anita, I think there's rain coming. It's just been that sort of autumn, early winter for us. What's the wind doing? What's the going stick saying on the mile-made course as well?
Yeah, so the latest conditions this morning, just starting with the national course, it remains heavy, soft in places. On the Mildmay Chase, we're soft, heavy in places. And on the Mildmay Hurdle, it's actually improved to soft. But yeah, the going stick readings are very low. I've not seen them this low, particularly on the national course where it's 2.7. Now on the national course as well, I've just spoke to the Suleika Varma, the clerk of the course this morning. They're going to make a decision about whether to bypass fence 11 on the Grand National course. I think that's over the canal side. There's still a bit of an issue around there with the amount of water that they've had. So we'll have to sort of keep our eyes peeled with that one.
What about low sun, dare I say those two words together? Even in Ireland at Down Royal yesterday, they were doling off hurdles. It's a bit of a nightmare, especially worry for punters at Aintree.
Very much so. Yeah, we've had a bit of everything. So this morning there was even a little bit of frost on the car, but it's a bright sunny day, and I'm afraid the low sun is going to be a factor. We saw it yesterday, as you say, at Down Royal. We saw it at the last meeting here, the Old Rowan Chase, when the fences in the straight, the home straight, were taken out. It is a nightmare for punters. I guess all punters can do at this stage is to try and factor it into their equation.
All right, OK, we're going to be concentrating on the Grand Seft, and Gaskill is back. Let's tease people towards your reports a little bit later on. You'll be filing, of course, for around about sort of end of racing, 6 o'clock, won't you? And then the digital edition, of course, at 9 p.m. Gaskill brewing up a storm. Giovinco comes back out as well. Recovery mission, would you believe it already?
Yeah, that's definitely on a bit of a recovery mission. Unseated at Carlisle. No guarantee he was going to win that race. It's obviously always some strong chases up in Carlisle, but I think they'll be looking for him to get back on track. You mentioned brewing up a storm. I think he obviously sets a standard, doesn't he? He's a horse that goes well fresh. He's won this race before. Obviously, he's got to give quite a lot of weight away to the other two. I think at the prices, I'd probably prefer brewing, to be fair. I just feel like these are the type of races that Oliver Murphy will have targeted at the start of the season for him to pick up. And then, on to the big one, Gaskill. He would actually be my fancy. I spoke to the team last month as part of the Stable Tour series. They've identified this race as a starting point. We know how good his record is around the course and the fences. And just the interesting thing with him is last year he did the Sefton and then onto the Beecher Chase, but it looks like they're not going to go for the Beecher Chase this time. It's sort of all about this race at the early part of the season. They're going to want to get his mark up. They see him as a Grand National contender, so I think he's going to go very close.
Deetsy, you're an old pro. We're all punching above our weight with our racing photos. You're no exception. The sun's shining behind you in that photo as well, as it always does on the Righteous. Great to have you making your Morning Post debut, man. Go well.
OK, you too. Have a great day.
He is a northern stalwart, is Deetsy, isn't he? I mean, your photo's horrendous, isn't it? Mine's not brilliant, but yours is absolutely
Which one? I've got a few.
You really need to take a new photo.
I've got a few different ones. I've got really old ones, new ones. It's fine.
All right, OK. Well, I think that it's the one that all the viewers know as well. You're probably always up to date, I would imagine.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. OK. Well, it is, of course, Grand Sefton Day then up at Aintree. Giovinco's a fascinating horse, isn't he? On the recovery mission, there'll be loads of multis out there, fingers crossed. It's a brave move to take him after Carlisle, isn't it, to the park fences, by the way. Anyway, really exciting horse. But it's a 2:45 at Aintree we're going to whiz through because there's only 10 runners in the Grand Sefton. We didn't think it was going to be on. And we've got Gaskill coming back. Jamie McBride, a lot of people will just see these national fences, think of Gaskill and just back it.
Yeah, he's really, really popular. I personally think he's got a tiny bit too short. I mean, Fantastic Lady is another one who's got great form over the fences. She finished well ahead of Gaskill in the race at April. Cooper's Cross shaped really well in that as well. So I get Gaskill ran really well last autumn over these fences, and he's got obvious chances, but I think he's got a bit too short. One thing to say about the races, though, is it has cut up to just 10 runners, so plenty of anti-post punters are on it. Juicy prices. We've been 6-1 Gaskill, 10-1 Fantastic Lady, as big as sort of 16 Nassalam and 20 Ferrero Brambu. So anti-post punters definitely found some value.
The Racing Post tipsters have gone, of course, for percussion. That was Tom Siegel in the prize-wise. And Paul Keeley in his Saturday scissors has gone for half shot. He looks like he's been really, really well back with Hills. Half shot.
Yes, 11-2. It's probably about double that just 24, 48 hours ago. So he's, very popular half shot. And he looks as though he could run well down at the bottom of the weights.
Yeah, okay, one to look out for. He's a nice horse, half shot. I liked him in his novice hurdles, but he's a debutant over the fences. Unlike Gesquille. He's sort of your horse, Gesquille. I don't know why I think that.
I had him in the Beecher last year when he just got beat, didn't he?
He wouldn't go past. I remember we had an argument about it on air. Do you remember we were watching it live?
Well.
And I said he didn't go past. He did in France last time, though.
Yeah, I don't fancy him here anyway. The yard is in form, but I'm with half shot.
You are with half shot?
I'm with half shot, yeah.
All right, okay.
Jumps well. The worry, as the quizmaster told me yesterday, Keith Melrose, he said you'll be having a panic attack come the elbow, because of course he's finished second on 4 of his last 5 starts and has a habit of finding 1 too good. But he jumps so well, he might not have to. He might be further enough clear to not have to worry. So half shot for me.
I've done your photo down. The producers have quite rightly got you obviously
That's a new
yesterday.
one. That's a new
That's
one.
a new one.
Yeah.
I like that because
beauty,
it's a real likeness, actually, isn't it?
Ed Whittaker took that, but not in front of the toilets.
Yeah, you did have it in Huntingdon by the toilets. That's another story. Should we get some social comments up? I know you're all out there and you're watching. Let's say hello to you out there. I wonder who's going to come up on the screen first before we get Posty and my selections here. I like Bamboo. Venetia Goes Well says off world. Yeah, Ferrero Bamboo. And Tom Leach. Leachy's back out there. Half shot, I'm on. You're with the other Leach. You're with the big bear Leach. OK, I really like one here. It's not Gesquille. Posty, you're sick?
Frero Bamboo for me, yeah.
The Frero Bamboo.
Very well handicapped, loves soft ground. Trip, obviously, second time at the Trip. Didn't really work out the festival last year, but Venetia's in flying form.
You wouldn't discount him. It could just be the making of him, this, couldn't it? He's also, it's a bit of a flat spot and keeps going. Whatever trip he runs out. I think Cooper's Cross is made for this. First time out, but the Coulthards have a great record over these fences. They won the Fox Hunter.
You worried about the ground?
Not massively. Not massively. I think it's just. I think they'll just get through. I like his running style. If you go back to the Topham, when he would have beaten Fantastic Lady had he stood up, he was cruising in that Topham when he came to grief. I like this horse. I think it was a big one, and we saw at Doncaster how good he can be as well. So it's Cooper's Cross for me. That's Aintree then. Really good card up there. Ollie Murphy taking some good horses up there, as we mentioned with Andrew Dietz. Look out for Andrew's reports. Shall we have a look at Newcastle? Supposed to be Doncaster, isn't it, of course, but didn't please everyone. I'm not going to go to that, but we have switched to the Tapeta, where we have an 8 race or so card for you, which starts very early on. And Bicep's going to win the first, by the way. Get that in. I wasn't allowed to nap it because it's too short in the first. Of course, we have the concluding race being the November handicap. We're used to mudlarks, aren't we? Remember Metier sluicing through the mud last year? Completely different level here. How have you approached the race?
I thought it was between Timesius Fox, Larfy and Pridwin. I tipped Pridwin, and then Pricewise tipped Larfy, and Keels tipped Timesius Fox. So maybe I'm on the wrong one. We'll find out. But Pridwin, trained by George Scott, does really well up at Newcastle with his runners.
All right, OK. I was trying to get you to speed up there because I want to know what Jamie McBride makes of Timesius Fox, because Leona Mayo, who'll be coming on the show shortly, when him an ambassador, has also gone for that, I see.
Yeah, he's been probably the best backed horse of the day. Arguably, he's 4-1 now. He's 12-1, I think, on Monday when we opened betting, and after the final legs on Thursday, he's still around about 7-15-2. So yeah, very strong in the market. Timesius Fox.
Best backed horse of the day, he says. Posty got one?
Yeah, I like Local Dynasty. I like the favourite.
Yeah, I think he'll take a lot of beating as well.
Gelded since, been unlucky over Romana Quarter. I think the step up in Triple Soup. Charlie Appleby's flying.
4-1 yesterday. I knew that wasn't going to last. I tell you, look at that photo as well. That's fairly well photoshopped, isn't it? They've done you a few filters on that, haven't they?
Well, I think so. I mean, compared to my colleagues here, I look chiselled, don't I?
Almost unrecognisable in that photo. All right, OK. One that's not on that board is Furzig, Richard Fahy. I think he's got a pretty good chance as well. We are going to boost all of our naps at the end as well, all right? So that's Newcastle. I think Furzig will go well. You're with the Fav, predictably, and you are with Timesius Fox.
Pridwin.
Pridwin, who is a very forgettable horse, I think. I wish you luck with that project. Right. It's been some show this morning. We're getting through it, of course. We've been up to the tracks. We've been all over the place. We've had gremlins all over the place. I hope that as we cross across the sea, my favourite, your favourite, Racing Post Deputy Editor David Jennings is going to give us everything all and good about the Irish Angle today. Massive. Finally, they're getting it on at Down Royal, aren't they? I mean, it's almost overwhelming, isn't it? When you look at the amount of promising Irish horses they have in the maidens, in the novices, the beginners chase, and of course in the top races. Am I wrong or right about
Well, a Gordon Elliott benefit, isn't it, this meeting? He had 6 of 7, was it, yesterday?
Yeah.
I think that's partly down to the fact that he knows that Mullins just going to win everything after Christmas, so you've got to bang them out there and get as many winners in there as you can before Mullins really gets going. And I think we've seen a bit of that this year as well with Mouse Morris bringing over more runners. We obviously saw
Gav
him
Cromwell.
win
Yeah, I mean, that's slightly worrying, isn't it?
Well, but
Well, what about this Yeah Man? Do you remember in the Ascot race at a live Sodexo Gold Cup or whatever it was, Sodexo Live? Yeah Man would have nearly won that, and DJ was saying last week, look, the boys are in trouble. If this horse, nice horse, but shouldn't be, really winning that.
we all know that all the best horses in Ireland, we kind of accept it, don't we? But I think if you are an Irish trainer, you have got to be thinking outside the box, because Mullins is so difficult to beat over there.
If you're
isn't
not
he?
Gordon Elliott or Willie Mullins, you've got to be thinking outside the box.
Absolutely.
Hence what
Which is what
Mouse Morris did.
Morris is doing, and Charles Burns, I think we might talk about him later.
What do we make of Elliott winning 6 of the 7 there yesterday? This is old hat, isn't it? I mean, we were kind of expecting him to do it, but it's not great, is it? I mean, they said we've got our problems over here with small fields. And
Yeah, I
stuff
think
like
their
that,
problems are different, aren't they? They've got the best horses, but the best horses are all contained within about 2 yards,
Well, one
maybe one.
Right, okay, all right. Well, DJ is somewhere out there. What do we make of Jerry Colombe today?
Wins.
No, he'll lose.
You think he'll lose?
Yeah,
He won't.
I think he'll get beat.
There were all sorts of without markets, but he was slightly on the drift, I think.
I think
when saw him.
Conflated will win it.
Yeah, I've heard some people putting
Yeah.
him up.
I think he's had a prep run, first time up, got beaten by Manila Indo. I don't think he was anywhere near right that day. And I think that this is his milk bottle race. This is Conflate's milk bottle race. What's Jerry Colombe's milk bottle race? That's the Gold Cup, not today.
Oh, Jerry Colombe, as we saw with Johnny
Deneen
Denise.
reckons that he can't lose, Jerry Colombe.
think he's
or
a
he'll
good
be
thing
amazed.
today.
or
I think he's a
something.
good. I like the 5 length. William
Yeah,
Hill
they're boosting it, aren't
boost.
they?
Yeah. I
I'm
think
sure
that's
the
interesting.
anti-postman would be telling us that this is going to win as well.
No way.
He's put a couple up there today, which you've probably seen in the week. Vicky Vale and a couple of others at Wincanton. What about the track for Jerry Colombe?
I mean, he was all right round Sandown, wasn't he? Where the track that's up and down a bit, as in, and he showed that he's not a slow horse there over 2.5 miles. As in, I think if he's going to be half the horse that we're all kind of hoping, he should have won at the festival, and I think he'll win today. Do you
All
not?
right, okay. Well, I just think he wins.
Yeah.
And you probably. I mean, look, the Gold Cup division at the moment is open, isn't it? It's just it's more open because.
Why do you
Galloping.
think, what makes you think he's going to win?
What do you mean? What? He's a winning machine.
Yeah, but like Gordon Elliott's already on record as saying that the milk bottle race is the Gold Cup and everything before it doesn't really matter.
He won this with Don Cossack. This is up there in that league.
So
isn't
you
he?
think that he's telling you lies?
I don't think that.
I think he's better than Don Cossack. You
You think he's better than Don Cossack?
Yeah, and I think,
No.
being honest, like, gee, okay, you're saying why will he win? Why will he lose?
Because he's milk bottle raced the Gold Cup, and Gordon Elliott's just going to be interested in getting him out and getting him a run today. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near ready.
I think you're wrong. I think he'll want him to win today.
You think that he's bluffing?
I think he'll
He's
want him
bluffing
to win.
when he says that everything goes to the Gold Cup and we'll go softly before that. Do you think he's bluffing? Do you think he really just wants to win everything?
95% ready, he still wins.
There's some very,
I
very
reckon so.
interesting novices on the card as well. Down memory lane, who I said on the big jump off in the studio last month. I think he's the second coming. He's priced up for the Ballymore. You can get involved with that. They won this race today. Interesting that Derek O'Connor takes the ride, isn't it, on that, by the way? Who rode him in his points point, rode him in his bumper. And Jack Kennedy's around. I mean, they've got the second favourite in the race as well, but he's won this with Envoy Allen, proper Ballymore horses. I think this is their Ballymore horse. Today's falls on today. You're not going to get rich, but fingers on the buzzers, I think, for the big one.
What's like the bumper he wins? Didn't he won with the long on shot yesterday? Didn't he?
Firefox or whatever it was it's called. I mean, look, we could go on and on and on talking about all the great horses in Ireland out there. What's your favourite? I don't know. Have you backed anything, basically? Have you seen something yet? I don't know. Will Mount win the Supreme and all that sort of thing? We're not saying this to Cheltenham Show. Far from it. But we love to get your socials in. Let's get some more up on while we wait for DJ to come on the line. Mr. Rodway says George Scott does well at Newcastle. Oh, this is absolutely marvellous. 0 from 42 in the last 4 years. Do your homework, Michael Bucknell says.
Well, I've got an answer for that.
Oh, of course you have. Please.
Now, if you go to Raceform Interactive, run out the query George Scott Newcastle over 2 miles, over 9 up to 1 mile 4 this race, isn't it? So over 9.
So you're saying Michael's talking absolute tops?
Over 9 furlongs, between 9 and 13 furlongs, right? And then you run it out by actual over inspected, which is the prices of all his runners, and then where they've actually finished at Newcastle. You will actually see, Michael, that his runners are outperforming market expectations.
What I love about G is even when he's been trumped, he still presents an argument for his own thinkings.
Racehorse Interactive is fantastic. You can't argue with that. It's one of our products, of course, here at the Racing Post, which is, it's out there. It's our database, basically. So, utter tosh, Michael. You have been told. Homework has been done. You try and get some flyers on him. He's usually insufferably right. OK, while we wait for DJ, we're going to go to Sandown tomorrow now, I'm being told, and it's the Veterans Chase that we want to look at. Let's see if we can get the market up for that as well. The Veterans Chases, we love them. Of course, the final is being run there. Wasn't it amazing to see Good Boy Bobby in leg 8 or whatever it was at Chepstow run down right. We've had a couple since. We love the Veterans.
Oh yeah, that Sandown on Sunday.
Yeah, there's the market.
Yeah, no, this is a good little race.
That's not the market.
That's not
the
the
2 mile
market.
handicap
They're
chase.
novices, I'm pretty sure. It's all going on today.
There we
Here
go.
we are, Good Boy Bobby. Lord de Manil I like, that's my one.
Lord Dumanil. He likes soft ground, don't he?
I'm not worried about his...
You know what the ground's like?
It's going to... What do you think it's going to be like?
It's good to soft in places.
It's going to be absolutely fine for him, not a
No,
problem.
no.
You need to get the fractions right. He'll be on the front end, won't he?
I mean, you've got some right names there, haven't you? Court Master likes to get on with it. Elegant Escape is being winning by Harry Cobden, of course. Cyclop, Darasha Counter, former Old Hennessy winner. These are now proper races, aren't they? They're classy races.
Yeah, I thought Court Master had a huge chance because the ground's not going to be soft. It's going to be good to soft in places.
It's
according
not.
to
Right, OK.
It's going to be hard work, though, G, isn't it? Surely.
Thank you, Posty.
Why though? I
Lord
mean,
Dominion will outclass these. He will outclass
it's good to soft in places, according to Sandown. Now, I fell into your trap here. I thought, well, it's Sandown, it's November, it's been pouring down, it must be really heavy, but it's not. It's good soft in places on the chase course. And this Court Master's a Court Cave. They all go on good ground. I think that Court Master ran a cracker last time at Cheltenham. He was only just nobbled near the line. I lost 3 or 4 places up the running. I think that he could go in here.
He's strong on
Court
this.
Master.
All right. For you've been holding court. He can't do what he did last time at Chepstow. Good boy, Bobby, can he? Hit that flat spot.
Well, I mean, he could. Again, it's the right track for a closer,
Yeah.
So I don't see why not. I think Elegant Escape is interesting, like you say, with Harry Cobden on board.
Has he not totally lost his way? I mean, he was at one point, was thought to be a Gold Cup tour sort of horse, wasn't he? This is tomorrow, of course, at Sandown on Sterling Guard. Larry's 72 as well.
But he's an old funny horse, isn't he? Elegant Escape.
He's a very well handicapped horse, and fresh might be the time to catch him. So I just think he's interested with the jockey booking.
Okay, Jamie's there. What is going to go off Fav in this? Because it's very tight in the market, Jamie.
Good question. I'm not sure. Like Charlie said, I think it depends what side of bed some of them get out of. I think Larry might be the one. He showed last year he can go well fresh, and he likes this sort of test, Ascot, Sandown. So he could be the one, I think.
All right, OK, there are some tips for you. We're moving on. DJ's at Downroll. We can't get him, apparently. We're not going to do what we did with Cobbers. We're going to let DJ go. But I can tell you he was very keen on Larfy in the November handicap. That would have been his nap. All right, let's move on. OK, I think we've got to go anti-post now, haven't we, basically? Because it's a massive 3 days coming up. Cannot wait for next weekend. Not wishing this one away. But it is one of the best weekends of any year. The Open meeting comes back at Cheltenham, guys. Going?
What, at Cheltenham?
Yeah, will you be there?
Oh, sorry, I thought you wanted me to predict the going.
or do you want me to leave?
No, yeah, I will hopefully be there, yeah.
All right, OK. G, you go?
No, I'm in here with you, aren't I, next Saturday?
Yes, we've got Keith Melrose coming down
We've got the Quizmaster coming on
Yeah.
next Saturday, so we'll be having a good chat here next Saturday morning, won't we? And I'd like to go, but it's a long old way from Chelmsford, isn't it,
Yeah.
to Cheltenham? I don't know if you knew that.
Well, here we go again. Countryside Day on the Friday, of course. The Paddy Power Cold Cup being the feature. Looks a really good race again, doesn't it? Good to see the real whacker, hopefully, coming out and striking his stuff there. Jerry Colon boost, potentially. Where's he going to go? Loads of real whacker fans out there. We heard from Sam Twiston Davis last week about him. Absolutely loves him still. But the Sunday showpiece. The Sunday is one of the great cards, I think. You've got the Schlur coming up. And the Greatwood is going to be the highlight of it. And Jamie McBride in future races, the section on the William Hill app and the website, 7-1 the field.
Yeah, it's a market that's not really taken a lot of shape yet. It's been quiet so far, but there was a move yesterday. I think the fashion in this kind of race is for the big yards to enter sort of 3 or 4 horses each, your Skeltons, Hendersons, Nichols, and then you have to sort of wait for the smoke signals and the money to arrive to realise which one's the intended runner. And there was a big move yesterday for Low de Sud for Dan Skelton. He's 8-1 from 14. But like I say, there's still time for a few more gambles, I think. Henderson's got a couple of lightly rated JP McManus horses. You'd expect only one of them to turn up Under Control or Iberico Lord, although they did run against each other on the last day of the season at Sandown. But with races like the Jerry Fielden on the horizon and more options, I think you'd expect them to be split up. So whichever one of those turns up, you'd expect there to be money for. And Willie Mullins has also got a couple of interesting ones. I'm not sure if they're intended travellers, but either of them would be making debut for the yard, so you just expect them to attract money if they were to turn up as well.
Yeah, one of them for Paul Byrne as well, only a matter of time. The Munir and Isaac Swade have got Castle de Motte as well. They're the 2 horses that Jamie's referring to. You kind of wonder whether they're doing, a sort of a Gaelic with this and just getting a mark, don't you, for something later on. But we'll see whether they come. This is a market that will obviously change massively in the week. Nemean Lion is a horse that you like, G, isn't he?
The right favourite, I think, for this race because he's going forward at the right time. He obviously won well first time up in Wales, didn't he? And Kerry Lee's got a really good record at Cheltenham. Go and check that one, Michael. The other
You're not having it, are you? Michael's absolutely infuriated you.
The other trainer that has got a good record at Cheltenham recently, of course, is Charles Burns, and I like his runner in the race if he brings it over. Biker.
Yeah. He ran in the Boodles, didn't he?
Yeah, it was second in the Boodles to Jazzy Matty. So he's got form around the track in a big field handicap. Yeah. He's had sort of quiet prep coming in, but we all know what Mr. Burns is like. Come the day, he'll have him bang on, and another trainer that does really well at Cheltenham.
As Dan Skelton does, the Jockey Club have been wheeling out that brilliant celebration, haven't they, of when he won it with West Cork, of course, and that massive weekend for him. He holds a few aces here. As Jamie told us, Loaded Sun. Knickerbocker Glory, of course, who won last weekend.
Very impressive as well. I mean, did it the hard way, jumped out, made all, and like it never really looked in doubt, did it? Great for Tristan Durrell as well.
Yeah. Ansard, of course, who takes on Robbo, all being well this afternoon in the Elite. He's around about 12-1 with Hills at the moment as well. Iberico Lord is an interesting horse because he didn't quite cut the mustard, but I thought a great deal of him. Selections, please.
Biker for me.
Biker.
I'm convinced that Any Harm in Asking is going to pop up somewhere before long. As in I've been with him a few times and been
John Joes.
Yeah.
You're close to that yard as well, aren't you? So. Tip there. I thought that Gin Coco second a couple of years ago when they got rid of all the hurdles, basically, hoping that one happened again. I thought he'd been better than that prep run, and if the ground's not too bad, it's a mixed forecast going to Cheltenham next weekend. We cannot wait for. He could be the play there. Right. Okay. Lots going on this show. Great to have you still with us here on the Morning Post. We'll be going right through every Saturday, all the way through. Even if it's called off, we'll find some more racing to give you this around about 10 a.m. every Saturday. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment and share. Hashtag The Morning Post. Let's hear it from you. The social boys are out there. Jack Reeve running them. The show. You can find everything on Twitter. Now it is time for the naps. All right? And these are all boosted. They're about to go live. In fact, they're live. These are all for you. And I'm thrilled with mine. You'll be thrilled with yours. Yours was already massive. You've got them all worrying up there. There's a load of bells that will be ringing tonight at William Hill HQ if it goes in at Chelmsford. But it's his debut on the show. Jamie McBride, take the naps away, man.
My nap is Chillingham in the November handicap. He's a lightly raced horse who I think's got more to offer. He caught my eye at Royal Ascot in the Copper Horse handicap behind Vauban. I'm not saying he would have beat the favourite, but I think he's shaped like the second best horse on the day. He's trapped a bit wide, a bit keen, and he's my nap today.
So that you can see the 5-1 there, all right? That's now boosted out to 8-1 from you with Hills. You can get that. That's the boost, 8-1 for Chillingham. Massive chance. Spoke to Ed Bethel when I was on Sky earlier this week. Really likes his chances, doesn't mind the switch. Charlie Poste.
Yeah, West Balboa at Aintree. I mean, three-runner race, takes on old favourite Brewing Up a Storm. She gets, with the weight for it, well, with the penalties and the sex allowance, she gets plenty of weight off of him, and I think she could end up progressing further this year. Very good in the Lanzarote, even better at Aintree. in the 3 mile handicap at the Grand National meeting. I think this is a lovely starting place and she'll go on to even bigger and better things.
And you're getting 5-4 with Hills. There you go, all right. Ollie Murphy trains Brewing Up a Storm. Another yard you're close to.
Indeed.
Fingers in pies, and could that be a tip in itself? All right, OK, take it away. Then we're at Chelmsford tonight. Where are we at Chelmsford tonight?
Yeah, I'll be back at Chelmsford tonight. I'm looking forward to getting back home, watching the local action.
Is that
at my
easy to
local
get
track.
to for you?
It's a very easy place for me to get to.
Why are you
Chelmsford.
going?
I might go. It
always
depends.
windy at
It
Chelmsford,
gets
isn't it?
very cold there, but it's a great place. I always extol the virtues of how great a night at Chelmsford is, and for anyone who wants to have a bet at Chelmsford tonight, or maybe even wants to go down there and spend a night there, the bet is in the 8 o'clock at Chelmsford. See You Boy, a huge price.
I didn't see this coming. This is a right price. Was 25 out to was 22s there. You can see they boosted it out 25s. Now they've gone 33s. They're taking you on.
They're taking
Happy
me
to
on.
do it.
Jamie's taking me on here, which is I like actually. But this horse, right? Botti is bombing, right? Everything that Botti runs at the moment is winning or going close, particularly in these types of races over this trip. See You Boy returned last year at Southall at 66-1 first time out, and he was well beat, ran abysmally, and then he almost won second time at Wolverhampton off a mark of 84. He then went off to Longchamp and all these other places in Europe because he was trained by his brother or his cousin or the other Botti. And then he comes back to Britain off a long break and he goes off 80-1 last time, and he runs abysmally, just like he did after the break at Southall last year. And then, of course, next time out, what happened? He almost won at a big price at Wolverhampton. This time, I think he might take a similar step forward to what he did last time when he was here and go and win at a big price off a mark of 79, which is £5 lower than when he almost won second time off the break at Wolverhampton in April.
Not even Marco Botti has plotted this out like you have. I think Jamie's about to go 40s out there. You've lost him, man. I think, all right, well, that is at what time?
8 o'clock at Chelmsford.
8
See You Boy.
Fine. All right, well, I'm going for the big one, 245 at Aintree, keeping it simple, unlike him. Cooper's Cross, I'm not worried about the ground like Posty asked me about. This is made for him. Was 13-2, now up to 9-1, which I think is great because that was his original price. He has been backed in. Those are your naps. They're live now. Get out there. Last week, Jamie, you had to take Tom Siegel's down, I think, didn't you? So much you were knocked over for it.
Yes, obviously Tom's been on a good run the last few months, and his selections are always popular. So, I was going to say hopefully we'll get them all beat, but I actually hope mine does win.
Jamie, it's been great to have you on. Listen, well done, man. There's been a few gremlins, not your side of things. We've got a Geordie in Yorkshire. Enjoy the sport this afternoon. We'll see you next week, man.
Thank you. Yep, hope everyone enjoys the afternoon's racing.
Brilliant. Top trader then at William Hill. It's been absolutely fantastic to have the chairman back on the show.
Yeah, delighted to be back, mate. Looking forward to the next few months.
You've really missed the CAF, haven't you, which we're going to go to.
I cannot wait, yeah.
We're going to go to Bankside CAF. If anyone's around South Bank, if you want to come and throw your mushy peas at the bear, that's where he's going to be in about an hour's time.
And then he'll be around for a beer afterwards.
Is that what he said? Is that what he said? A badger beer. It's Frodon Day, everyone. This has been the Morning Post here at the Racing Post. Of course, get involved. If you're not a member yet, 50% off. That's how you get involved. We've teased the paper for you. The digital edition is out there. I've been Dave Alton. You've been marvellous. Enjoy the sport.